Hi there, welcome back to Nico Talks Hockey. Today we are continuing our rankings. We're doing the top 20 wingers today. So just like the top 20 goalies I did, and the top 20 defensemen, I will start at 20 and go up from there with each number getting increasingly better. These are the top 20 wingers in the entire NHL. Again, and just like I did with the goalie and defenseman video, looking at a 3-year sample size, so not just the past season. This past season will hold the most weight. It'll mean the most when I factor in these rankings. But I want a larger sample size than just that, because I think that's what truly gets more close to what makes a player really good is a 3-year sample size. So yeah, without further ado, let's get right into it. And at number 20, I have Brady Tkachuk of the Ottawa Senators. Brady Tkachuk, he had a bit of a little bit of a down year, I'd say, in terms of points this past year, but he's as effective as ever, especially, the style of game he plays. He's just every team in the league covets the type of game and the type of player that Brady Tkachuk plays, and the type of player he is. You saw in the Four Nations, he brings it every game. There's no game that he's off in terms of like what he brings. He's always giving 100%, and it's why he's the captain there in Ottawa. He comes in at number 20. At number 19, Brandon Hagel. It kills me to say that as a Blackhawks fan because, you all know. It sucks that he's no longer a Chicago Blackhawk, but it is what it is. He's a Tampa Bay Lightning, and he's a very good one at that. Brandon Hagel, it seems like every year he gets just better and better. He impresses me so much. I have a big feeling that he's going to be on the Olympic squad for Canada come Olympics time in February. And he's just, he can be on your top line, anywhere in your top 6. He's an awesome penalty killer. He's great on the power play. Brandon Hagel is awesome, and he comes in at number 19. At number 18, I have Zach Hyman of the Edmonton Oilers. It's a damn shame that he could not play in the final there for Edmonton. I think if he had, we could be seeing a different outcome. I know the Florida Panthers are just a better team overall, but Zach Hyman definitely brings. He's Zach Hyman. He's a top line presence, and there's really no replacing him. But he was hitting crazy point totals 2 seasons ago. Did he have a little bit of regression? Sure, but he's still awesome, and he comes in at number 18 here. At number 17, someone who I've been high on for a long while, and I wish the Flyers didn't covet him so much. It's Travis Konecny. Travis Konecny is like, I have him 2 spots ahead. He's like a better Brandon Hagel to me. He plays with some snarl. What I love about Travis Konecny is that he's like the first player I feel like on this list that I've mentioned so far that can truly drive a line by himself. He doesn't need, obviously teammates help, but he doesn't need teammates a lot of the time to just like take it up the ice himself, make a clean entry into the zone, and get a real good scoring chance. So I really like Travis Konecny's game, and kudos to the Flyers for having him. On to number 16, one of my favorite players in the entire game, Clayton Keller of the Utah Mammoth. I long wanted him to get the captaincy. I'm glad he finally did. It's about time. Clayton Keller is one of the main reasons why I watch formerly Arizona, now Utah. He's so electric, so dynamic to watch. He wills things into existence. He's clearly the best player there in Utah, And, I know that Cooley's going to be awesome. He's going to be a number one center. They've got lots of, we've got Sergachev there now. But Clayton Keller is the clear best player there. And I wish he got more recognition for how good he is. At number 15, another favorite player of mine, maybe like top 3 favorite player, Jason Robertson of the Dallas Stars. I love Jason Robertson. I know he's gotten some slack because he is prone to a little bit of inconsistency. He hits 100 points one season and then, maybe barely cracks 80 the next. But his analytics speak for themselves. He is awesome offensively. He contributes a ton offensively, assists, goals, very well-rounded there. But then defensively, he's a beast. He's awesome defensively. So, for a winger who he plays such a well-rounded game. I get that he's got some inconsistency, but when I heard that his name was out there in trade rumors, I don't know what they were thinking. I know that the Stars have to shed cap, but I think it would be a huge blunder and mistake for the Stars to trade Jason Robertson. Sorry, my AC came on there. Moving on to number 14, I have Artemi Panarin of the New York Rangers. It's a shame because I think Panarin's true best years, his peak years behind him. And the New York Rangers are in this interesting window here. Is the window still open? It's up for debate for a Stanley Cup. Is the window still open? But either way, Panarin is still delivering. I'd probably have him higher. I'd probably have him a lot higher if his playoff game was better. If he wasn't a ghost so much in the playoffs, he too often just kind of disappears. And I don't know if that's his fault or if it's just when he goes up in the playoffs and just the teams he ends up matching up against just really are good at shutting him down. I don't really have an answer for that, but yeah, Panarin is still awesome. His point totals are crazy. He's so creative. The vision he has for the ice and for creating plays is just next level. Moving on to number 13, player I really like. I hope he should make the Olympic squad for US. It's Kyle Connor. I know that in the Four Nations, he was kind of criticized there, but no, he should absolutely be there in the Olympics. He's a pure goal scorer, one of the best goal scorers in the game. I'm not going to say he's underrated anymore. I think he's justly rated now. For a while there, he was underrated. People just didn't give him the kudos he needed or he deserved. And I was fine with that for actually a little bit because, I'd pick him consistently up in like fantasy. So that helped me out. But Kyle Connor, the Jets, awesome goal scorer. You know exactly what you're going to get pretty much every season. He's just delivering you at least 30 goals every year. He's so dynamic. Moving on to number 12, 2 out from our top 10 wingers in the NHL, I have Jake Guentzel. I wanted Jake Guentzel on the Blackhawks so bad. I know that Kyle Davidson tried to get him, but, with the state the Hawks were in, it didn't make a lot of sense. And, Jake Guentzel obviously saw that. He chose the Lightning. Good choice for him. Jake Guentzel is everything I love in a player. He's, you know exactly what you're going to get. He's so consistent in the regular season. And then the playoffs, he's one of the best playoff performers of his generation. He just always delivers. You're never going to be worried about what you're going to get or if Jake Guentzel is going to show up or not. Because he's just, he's a huge reason why, Pittsburgh has none of those back-to-back cups if Jake Guentzel's not there. He's just so great, and I'm so jealous that the Lightning have him because what he brings in the playoffs, it's so necessary to have players that just take their game to the next level like Guentzel does. Moving on to the last player I have outside the top 10. Again, before I say this player's name, It's a 3-year sample size, so it's not just taking the last season. But how can we not be impressed with Alex Ovechkin coming? And at number 11, what he's doing is just insane. And everyone knows it, so I'm beating a dead horse here. But Alex Ovechkin, at his age, I do believe, I know that he refuted the claims that next year is going to be his last year, but I do think that, reading between the lines here, he wants to go play at least one season or two in Russia before he retires from professional hockey completely. So I think that next season might be his last, and I think everyone needs to cherish it because I think he's still going to be performing at a high level. Maybe not as many goals as he got this season, but he's still good for 20, I think, at least. And Ovechkin is coming in at number 11. Making the top 10 here, these are the top 10 best wingers in the NHL. I have at number 10, Jesper Bratt of the New Jersey Devils. Jesper Bratt, I know I've said this like a million times, but I love this player. He is, I don't know about truly underrated, but I would say he's underrated because he does not get enough love. He should be consistently in the top 10 of these rankings, right? From everyone who's making these types of rankings of wingers, he's got to be there. He's so great. Every cup caliber team needs a player like Bratt, who's just an awesome playmaker, assist machine, and is just so reliable and consistent. Every year, season in, season out, what you're getting with Jesper Bratt, which is a top line, just effective winger. Moving on to number 9, I debated putting him a little bit lower just because of his playoff struggles, but when he's on, he's so electric to watch. It's Willie Nylander, Willie Styles. He does not get any extra points for his his clothing game, but Willie Nylander, he in the playoffs is the best of the core 4, or I guess now the core 3, now that Marner is gone. But he was always the best in terms of the playoffs, just playoffs speaking, better than Matthews, better than Marner. When he's going, he lights up the whole team, right? He lights up. Leafs get energized whenever he's on. It doesn't always work like that with other players like Matthews or even Marner, Tavares. But when Willie is scoring, he's getting the whole team going. He's a winger, but he drives play so well. He can enter the zone, seamlessly, and it's just so much fun to watch. So yeah, Willie Nylander at number 9. At number 8, a player who is underrated, I'd say, just because of the team he's on, is Philip Forsberg of the Nashville Predators. Forsberg is, I think if he was on a different team with a different kind of style and the way they play, different identity, he'd be talked about in borderline top 10 players, top 10 forwards. He's so good. There's a reason he was picked to be part of Amazon Prime's show they made about the behind the scenes for certain players. They picked him for one of the seasons they did, and for good reason. He's got a great personality too. I know it doesn't factor into the rankings, but it adds on to his likability. Forsberg, Nashville without Forsberg is a yikes team. It is a team that is struggle bus central. So they are lucky they have Forsberg, and he's still in his prime. He's still performing at a very high rate. Moving on to number 7, I can't have him any higher. I know his point totals are awesome. I know that he's very consistent in the regular season. It's Mitch Marner. Now, I want to say that I think that now that he's on Vegas, they're going to unlock him, his playoff version. He's going to consistently, do 90, hovering around 100 points, I'd say, in the regular season. But in the playoffs, I have no doubts that he's going to at least unlock one more level where he's not going ghost mode in like games 5 through 7. That's where he struggled the most as a Leaf. I think it changes in Vegas. I don't know what it is, but I'm sure the mental thing will change for him. Moving on to number 6, I have 2-time Stanley Cup champion Sam Reinhart of the Florida Panthers. He is so great. Like, he catapulted up these lists because, yes, he had an unbelievable season 2 seasons ago, but then to follow it back up with, a lot of people, including myself, I was like, yeah, no, he'll regress. His numbers coming back down to the mean. I don't know. Next season, I'm not making the same mistake. I think that he's unlocked a new part of himself. He's unlocked a new element to his game. And this is who Sam Reinhart is now, which is one of the best goal scorers in the entire game. We're in the top 5 here. This is truly the elite of the elite, the superstar wingers of the league. At number 5, it's Matthew Tkachuk, Florida Panther teammate. I worry about Tkachuk going forward because he seems to get injured a ton, and when he does get injured, he's still effective, don't get me wrong. Like, he was awesome in the finals there for Florida, but it's noticeable. Like, he's not moving. He parks himself in the perfect place, and he's able to get tap-in goals, but I imagine that will eventually dry out a bit, and that can't be something that just can be his bread and butter forever. So I think because the Panthers have gone to 3 straight Cup finals, so much hockey, I worry about Tkachuk in the immediate future, but no, he's still unbelievable. What he brings, it's, like his brother, they bring a ferociousness and a tenacity to the game that is to every game. They're never off. They're always in on mode. And props to Bill Zito for identifying that and making a risky, quote unquote, trade to bring him in, and then, get 2 cups to Florida now. Moving on to number 4. This is the 4th best winger in the entire NHL, in my opinion. It is Mikko Rantanen of the now Dallas Stars. I've said it before. I don't think that Colorado should have ever made that trade. It screamed like trying to big brain it too hard. Like, oh, galaxy brain. It's like seeing what's the old phrase? Missing the forest for the trees. That's what it screams to me. So I know that a lot of Avalanche fans recognize that, and they're like, yeah, no, we shouldn't trade him. I hope he doesn't haunt you too much, and I hope that you guys don't face each other too much in the playoffs. But yeah, Rantanen, what he brings, he's like Gensel, but on steroids. He's just so consistent, and he now has proven that he does not need McKinnon to do it. Sure, does McKinnon help? Yeah, he's one of the best players in the world, bar none. But Rantanen is so great because he can do it himself. He can will it himself, and he's a gamer when it counts. Like Gensel, his production in the playoffs is at an even higher clip than Gensel. I think he's like if you just look at the stats, he's the best, I would say the best playoff performer besides maybe McDavid and Draisaitl of this generation. He just is so good. You can always count on him. I know that he got kind of, the Edmonton Oilers did a really good job of stopping him in that 3rd round there, but Dallas Stars will be back in the playoffs next season, and he'll have more to prove. Moving into our top 3, this is the best 3 wingers in the entire world. At number 3, I debated. Number 2, this is like the top 3 here. I guess you could call it a little controversial how I'm going to be putting it, but at number 3, I have David Pastrnak of the Boston Bruins. David Pastrnak is a one-man army. I've been saying it for a lot of the other wingers, but except for maybe the next two above him, there's no one who does it better in terms of just willing it. You know, as a winger, I think it's harder to have the ability to kind of play drive. Centers are kind of, that's like your duty, but for wingers, just his Pasternak's ability to just score a goal all by himself is just, it's an incredible thing to watch. When he scored the overtime Game 7 winner against the Leafs, it was unbelievable. He deserves even more praise than he has. He's again, like a one-man army. I think that's the perfect way to put it. Moving into number 2, I could have put him 1. I could have put him at 3 because of his recent playoff struggles, but I thought 2 was the perfect place to put him. Nikita Kucherov of the Tampa Bay Lightning. Kucherov's point totals are the best of everyone, right? He's like year in, year out, a Art Ross like candidate, a good bet for the Art Ross like every year. He's so great offensively. He's one of the best players in the world at creating chances offensively, creating dangerous chances. The only reason I don't have him number 1 is, I guess it's 2 reasons. Defensively, it's not like he's world beating, but it wasn't even the main reason why I didn't have number 1. His offensive game is so great that I'm like, okay, you don't have to be like the best offensively, right? You can just play your game offensively. The main reason I think I don't have number 1 is because he's been shut down the past 2 years. I know it was both by the Florida Panthers, but he's been shut down, and not enough people are talking about it, how he's kind of not shown up in the playoffs the past couple seasons. So, you know, I know it's a 3-year sample size, but the past 2 seasons hold more weight than the third most recent. So, yeah, I had to dock him. I had to dock him 1 spot. And my number 1 spot, the best winger, in my opinion, in the entire NHL is Kirill Kaprizov of the Minnesota Wild. You know, feel free to tell me in the comments why I'm wrong, but I think Kaprizov I think he's the best winger. I understand that he's got a bit of an injury bug, and if he's injured again next season, he's not staying at number 1. I've done this before in the defenseman video and the goalie video, but I think injury is a bit of a skill. So, you know, you gotta be good to stay healthy, and you gotta be healthy to be good. So yeah, injuries definitely might come into play next season if he has another season where he's out. But if he had stayed healthy this season, like a whole season, I have no doubt in my mind that he would have won the Hart Trophy. He was on pace to do that, and you know, I think he would have done it. When he came back, him and Boldy were like the entire Minnesota Wild team. They just did it all themselves. So Boldy was a player that just missed my top 20 list. I'm a huge fan of Matthew Boldy. But yeah, Kirill Kaprizov, I just think he's the best. I think he's the best winger in the entire world. And it's going to be very interesting come next summer. Is he getting another contract with the Wild? I think so. I think they're going to, pay him the whole farm to keep him, and rightfully so. He's a top 10 player in the whole league. So yeah, that's my my top 20 wingers in the NHL. Please feel free to tell me what you think of the list. Who did I miss? Who deserves to be on the list? Who should be higher? Who should be lower? But yeah, I want to thank you so much for watching. If you could like and subscribe, that would mean the world to me. Next video I'll be coming out with is my top 20 centers in the NHL. And then once I've done that, I've done all the positions that exclude, like the coach and the GM. I'll be doing that a little bit later. But once I've covered the centers, I'll be making a video of my top 25 players in the NHL, including goalies, defensemen, offensemen, forwards. including all that, who are the top 25 players flat in the NHL. So again, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.